Okay, hi, Lisa, you changed your image.
Let Lisa know I'll be around after class.
I should let you know that he will be around after class, he says, Lisa. Your sound's off, so.
I'll be here. Thank you.
Okay. He just stuck his head in. Okay, how's everybody doing?
So far, so good.
Got things working in the files, sort of?
I have something to submit.
Well, this is good. This is good. This is, I mean, because if you're the only one, you've got it. So this is good. Anybody else have anything they want to show? Can we show things today? This would be good if we can show things today. I found it very helpful to be able to see what people are doing and then to talk to you about, you know, what you might need to have help with, because lots of times it's a real simple fix. And I'm just happier than anything to help you with stuff. If I can just say, oh yeah, turn that on and turn that off and it works, then this is great. And that is so many times that's what happens. So things are calming down, I think, in the world, but it's hard to tell. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we have to get through Thanksgiving, I think.
Yes, yes. And Thanksgiving is going to be rough. So I'll have to keep our fingers crossed. I'm thinking, you know, you get to this point, this is week 12, right? So, or is this week 11? Next week's week 12. And week 12 is like, all of a sudden, everything's coming to a close and it's like we're hurtling towards the end. So I always feel like time suddenly starts going faster this time of year because there's so much that's happening at the same time. So we want to, you know, make sure that we get this assignment put together and turned in, and then we're going to go into 3D, and 3D is always challenging. And so we're going to do a very simple 3D, but I'm going to, you know, give you some links to things to look at so you can get some more interesting background and maybe try a couple of interesting new ways of doing things. But since online is it's just not perfect for teaching something like this, so 3D is a little bit more challenging. And although you can take classes in particular programs from lynda.com on how to do 3D, doing it in this type of a format with everybody, we have so little time to go over everything that I think that just getting an introduction will be what we do. It's just not gonna be something that's easy to do online. So, but we'll do what we can. We'll see what everyone's got, and maybe we'll have something wonderful today. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to go through everybody and see what you've got. And first I'll show you, I put some links up in Chrome. Here we go. On the Canvas page. So we go to the Canvas page for today. Let's see. Yes, here it is. So down at the bottom, you see that I've got linked to lynda.com character rigging by George Maestri and linked to lynda.com character animation by Dermot O'Connor. These are both very good instructors that have a lot of different tutorials and different classes that are in the lynda.com, which is, and now lynda.com, of course, is, just drop something. Lynda.com is also the, I can't think of the word. It's LinkedIn. it turned into LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is now lynda.com, but the lynda.com that we have through the public library system here is still the lynda.com evidently. So if you go in there and you look up George Maestri or you look up Dermot O'Connor, you'll come to these pages and they show all the different classes that they teach on different kinds of character animation. George Maestri, mostly his character animation is done in Maya, but he has done things for After Effects as well. And some of the basic information, not the parts where you're actually using the program, but the parts where you're talking about how to draw the character and design it on Photoshop or in Illustrator would be very useful. And then Dermot O'Connor, most of his animation has been in the Flash, which then turned into Animate, which now does not work for me. I've tried to get it to open, it will not open. So I'm still kind of wondering what's going on there. But I found a message board where people were discussing the fact that they couldn't get it to open. And somebody said that he had uninstalled 2021 and reinstalled 2020, and that one worked. So maybe I'll try doing that. But Dermot O'Connor has some very, very good descriptions of how motion works and how characters work and how to make something look like it is moving in a convincing way. And he's really good. He worked for Disney, and his website on the internet is called The Angry Animator. So if you can't remember his name, just remember The Angry Animator, because he quit from Disney when he got mad at them once. So he's the Angry Animator. But his stuff is really very good. And I'll share. I was looking and looking and looking, trying to find the character that I had put together when I was showing people how to use Flash animation. And I finally found it by doing a bunch of searches. So in Flash, let's see, where is it? Got this page that I had. I think it's in here. Here we go. Is this it? Yes. So, and I can't open any of these animate files at all. I can't. It just keeps telling me it doesn't work. Part of that is because some of these have what they call bones in them for inverse kinematics, and they took that out of the program about 3 versions ago, so you can't open those. But I was hoping to at least get the page open, or the program to open up the file without being able to use the bones, because I could get the images out as vector and paste them into Illustrator, but I couldn't even do that. So I've got to figure out how to do that. But I was able to find all of these Swift files.
What this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore?
So you see, this is a nicely articulated
What this
character.
grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore?
So that was what I had done. And then there was one that, is this it? Yeah, it has interactivity. So
What this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore?
so trying out different things I was. And then here's one where you have to touch the bird.
Our buried treasure. Our buried treasure. Our buried treasure.
So so that was just because some people had been asking about character animation, and I was trying to find that figure so I could get the pieces out in vector, but I can't. So, but that was from 2010 or 2011, so that was a long time ago. So you can show me what you've got done. Oh, I could show you what I did more to that file that I was showing you the other day too. So just to start getting your After Effects open and ready to go. And I will show you what I've got. Let's see, here we go. So I went ahead and I changed the colors in Photoshop, and then I started changing some of the drawings. So I made one of the figures is wearing a different kind of jacket, and I'm going to change the sort of the whatever they've got around their neck, the scarf. And then I was able to get just a very simple animation started. And I figure at this point I'm going to have blinking eyes, but I haven't done that part yet. And then I would have the figures and the Alamo fade out and just leave the logo up. So it's the beginning of something. I better stop this thing from playing. So, such is life. That's what I've got.
That's been lucky.
So hi. So Ishmael, do you have a question?
Yes. How do you did that like make it look like you're zooming out?
Ah, simple. If you do come down here,
Can
I've got to share it here. I've got to share. I hate this. I just can't remember my steps here. It's so much easier when people are standing next to you in a classroom. Okay, so here we are, and I don't know if I can zoom in. I don't think it'll let me zoom in here. So can you see what's going on down here in my timeline?
Yes.
Okay, so what I did was I created first the keyframes for this singing figure orange guy here, okay?
Mhm.
Which is actually like all of the figures, basically. I think I had done something to it. But here's this, right?
Mhm.
And then I put in the positions, keyframes, and the scale keyframe. I figured out how big it needed to be. Then I just took the Alamo and I put in keyframes for position and scale on the same frame here. So I got it to the size I wanted it to be. And then I figured, well, it's going to be changing at a different rate because of perspective, and I don't want it to get too tiny. So I brought it out here, and I ended up with it being at 50%. They started out, though, here, if you look, it starts out at almost 100%. It must be 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Mhm.
But the singing figures scale here, he's 100%. So these are both 100% at this point. But then when you go to here, the Alamo's at 50%,
And
but the people are at 10%.
so they will look smaller and not the same size as the Alamo.
Yeah, so it looks like, you know, you're panning out, because when you pan out, it changes at a different rate. Now, you know, I'm not figuring it, I'm not doing something specific with it. I didn't use a calculation or anything. I just said, well, what does it look like? Does that look right? Nah. Then I changed it. Yeah, it's better. You know, so that's what I did.
Okay.
It's just a very basic sort of looking to see what looks the best. And then I had the logo come
Not too much.
sort of fading in. I made the logo the size it needed to be so that this part of the Alamo in the logo would line up with this part of the Alamo in the drawing. And then
Is
I'll
there
have
like a
that.
download link for the logo?
Excuse me?
Is there a download link for the logo?
Yes. You go to the page that has the directions for the contest that is on the page at SAC. You know, they have the link to the Christmas card contest. I've got that on here. I'll show you that again also. So in Chrome, in the actual Canvas class, if you go to, let's see, I think I have it at the home too. No, I have to go to course navigation, and it's at the top, and click on the President's Annual Holiday Card Contest. It's also in the inside of the page for the directions for our project 3, but it's here, and then you come here, and he's in this place that you can barely see because all they did was put a link on the word here. So the official SAC logos used may be found here, and you go to here, and then you can find all the different logos here. So that I would say that they have the logos linked, but it's a little bit hidden because, well, it just doesn't jump out at you. So that's where it is, and you can download them from there. Make sure that you use the one you need. There's one that's reversed to be used against black or dark colors, and there's one that's just the regular, so it's got black type and it shows in front of most colors, but if it gets too dark, you should go with the reversed. So, and once again, like I said, they have these very specific directions in the brand standards guide that say, you must use this color, you must use this text font, you must do it this way, you must place it this type of placement. So don't try to draw the logo. Use the logo they gave you. Even if you have to do a lot of tweaking with it for the size or whatever, it's better than trying to fit something that you can't do. You cannot make your own logo. Now, the logo is also, let's see, I haven't even gotten to this point yet, but the logo is also something that you want to make sure that it's nice and sharp. To make sure that it's nice and sharp, you'll want to make sure that this is going to be as clean looking as possible. And here we go, logo. So it's an AI file. And since it's an AI file, that's an Illustrator, that means that you can use this. This is for vector layer continuously rasterized. And like I say, what that means is it at every zoom level, at every size that you take it to, it's going to rasterize at the moment you get to that size. So you zoom in and then it says, I have a logo, I have this logo here. I'm going to rasterize it to the highest rasterization possible. I'm going to make it as sharp and defined as possible at this view size. And then you zoom in again and it gets to that point and it says, I have this logo here. I have to, and it will rasterize it at that point. So you don't have to worry about it getting fuzzy because it's going to continuously rasterize. It's going to rasterize when it gets to it instead of rasterizing it at the beginning and leaving it at that level, because it's important when you're using images like this to make sure that they are sharp and clear, because that's something that they will be very concerned about since it's a logo. And so it's an Illustrator file. You can get it continuously rasterized, or you can go ahead and turn it into vector. But I would be afraid that in translating the text, that it might, it doesn't fuzz it, but it kind of puts it into whatever. I can't think of the word for it, but it might slightly change it by vectorizing it. So I would rather just have it continuously rasterized. Make sense? Because that's what I'm going to tell you. So any other questions about like getting information in? They will want you to have the logo at some point. So like I say, choose the one that works best, but choose it from the ones that they gave you, because that's basically what they want you to use. Okay, so let's see what you've got. So Ishmael, show us what you have.
Actually, I'm trying to open up my After Effects, but it's doing some updates and it's taking so long. I think it's my internet, but it's not letting me.
Okay, well, let's go on to Lisa.
Mhm.
What do you have?
Okay. It's not the most creative thing.
You're not asking for perfection, you're just asking for some holiday card.
But it works.
Okay,
That's part I'm proud of. That's it.
nice. You do want to make sure to say something like "Happy Holidays from," I think.
Okay.
That you know that
Right.
you know it's not like they require it, but they, since they say they want it to be the holiday card for the school, you want to make it look like they had something to do with saying something.
So could I mean, I could maybe fit that in right here at the bottom.
Yeah, or you could have it just fade out so that it just fades out to say happy holidays instead of saying the text you've got. So just have it fade out and have happy holidays fade in.
Oh, okay. My other question is, so all of these are after, because I cut off the music right when somebody starts singing.
Uh-huh.
So all of this is kind of empty, quiet space. Is there a way, do I just go and split and chop all those off? Is there a way to, should I change the time in the composition?
You could do that. You could do either of those things, or you could duplicate the music layer and put the beginning at the end of the place where it changes. So it
Okay.
just started to repeat. You can make it repeat. See what I'm saying?
So 10 seconds isn't too long for? Is
No, they would take, I would think they would take up to like 2 or 3 minutes. They didn't have a limit on it.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so when I say, 30 seconds or whatever it was, I said, and I basically said it should be, 10 to 30 seconds or something like that, wasn't it? Something
Yeah.
just vague, because they didn't give us any recommendation for the size and the length they wanted. But I think if you have it less than 10 or 15 seconds, it probably won't make any sense. And if you have a lot more than that, it'll just be a lot more work, and I don't want us to take that much time on it. I don't want people to waste time beating their head against a wall to do something that we need to get over and pass because we need to start the next assignment. But I do want people to have something that's worth enough that the people who are doing the judging will find it interesting and fun and perhaps like it.
So what you're saying is to add another text layer that says Happy Holidays from San Antonio College, and then have it fade in right at some point right before it ends.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I think that would make it more successful in their competition. And that would,
And fading in, it would be another layer, creating another layer within.
yeah, you could just have another layer and have the opacity change.
That's good.
That would be simple. I remember when we did the transitions and I said, to have a transition, all you really need is have an overlap and then have the opacity change between that space for both of them. So one of them fades out, one of them fades in. That's
Okay.
it.
I'll give it a try.
Very simple.
Thank you.
Okay, Fook, do you have anything? Fookman, do you have anything that you can share?
Yes.
Can you share anything that you've got?
Sorry, I don't have anything to share.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll move on then. Aaliyah, do you have something you could share? Okay. She can't because she's on her phone, unfortunately. So let's see. Tracy, do you have anything to share?
No, I'm also on my phone, but I had a question.
Sure.
So you said, I think you said last couple classes that we're able to turn in like just a card instead of like as well as an animation. Is
Right,
that
so the card, for the card would be for the contest, because
right? Yes.
and that's what's due tomorrow. And then you'd still be able to do the animation part for next Tuesday, because that's when this
Okay.
assignment's due in class. And when you do enter it, just do a screenshot of the entry form so I can see that you entered.
Okay. And isn't it due today, like tonight?
I
Or is
believe
it not the
it's
6th?
due on Friday. Let me check again.
Or maybe it's not the 6th today. I'm not sure.
Yeah, today is the 5th.
Okay. Okay.
So
then yes.
yeah, it's due on the 6th, and today is the 5th. So it's due tomorrow, and it says, let's see what time. It just says the competition ends on November 6th. I'm
Okay.
gonna look at the entry card form here. So
Okay. Yeah, I have the card ready for the contest. I just need to animate it, and then that'll be the one that I turn in. I'm on my phone also, so I can't
yeah,
share
no,
it.
I understand. But that, that's great. That as long as you get it turned in as a card, that'll be perfect. Okay, so here's the form, and it doesn't say a time. So when it doesn't tell you a time, if you can't get it in before the end of the workday, which would be like 5 p.m., you probably could hand it in anytime before 11:59 p.m. and then you could argue with them if they tried to say that it was too late because they didn't tell you a time. But because you don't know if they're going to actually try to have it done by 5 p.m., you probably want to get it in before 5 p.m., if you see what I mean. What I'm saying is, since they didn't tell us, legally we could probably say, oh, you didn't tell us, so it's like 11:59, it's got to be the last moment you can turn it in. But because they are the people in charge, who knows if they would listen. So 5 p.m. is probably a good time to have it in by then, just to make sure that it gets into their computer and they have, all the paperwork ready. Because I trust. Okay, so Marlena, do you have something that you could show us?
I do not right now. Maybe I can towards the end of class, if that's okay.
Okay. Javier, do you have anything that you want to show?
I'm sorry, I'm kind of in the same boat right now. Like I'm finishing up like the last bit of my line art. After that, I can try to share something at the end of the class.
Okay. Okay. And Ben, do you have something now?
I do. You actually caught me at the perfect time. I just finished rendering.
Fantastic.
The 3D file is, you're right, it's lots of memory, so
It chugs along.
I was like hoping that you'd call me last so that it could finish rendering because it was like 15 minutes.
That's so little time compared to some of the things.
Yeah.
So, but let's see what you got.
Because as soon as I started working with the 3D, and then I found more stuff you could do with it and more stuff, and then it ended up being much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yes,
But
yes.
let me get it here. Can you see it?
It's, yeah, there we go. Okay. Nice texture. Very nice.
So yeah, that's what I have.
And it probably plays a little faster when it's playing really,
Mhm.
right?
Hmm.
But it looks nice. I really like the texture. It's a very nice looking texture. And you did a good job getting that logo to show up. But really those Christmas trees laying down and coming up, very nice. A lot
Thank
of
you.
fun. Yes, and the lighting is always so much fun. I really enjoy lighting. You know, lighting is a fun thing. I'm very pleased. I think you're going to have a good chance of getting something.
Thank you.
Because they have you have the winning, and then they have two or three more. It's like first place, second place, and third place. So if you win, you get the $500 scholarship. If you get the second place or the third place, you get like a gift certificate to go into the school bookstore or something. So one
Are
way
there
or another.
any changes you think I should make?
Well, let's see. Move a little bit further.
Here, I'll just play it so you can see.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe at the beginning, when you're looking and you're looking past all of the trees, maybe you could have one or two trees that are so close to the camera on, say, maybe one on each side, so that it would be covering the edges. And then,
Okay, yeah.
then as you go in with the camera zooming in, they'll just disappear because it goes behind the camera, right? So if you have
Yeah.
them very close to the camera, so it looks like you're coming through a forest and then coming out into this plain full of Christmas trees, I think that would make it a little bit more dramatic. Kind of like, it would have the effect of almost looking like curtains opening, except it would be the trees.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, I could do that.
I think that would be fun. Very nice though, very nice.
Anything else?
No, I think you've done a very good job.
Okay, thank you.
Does
I just have
anybody
to
else?
put the music in now.
Yeah, just throw in some music. And like I say, the music, probably the best to do would be find something that doesn't have any words, doesn't have any references to religion specifically, but as long as it doesn't have words, you're good. And you probably want to go with something that is, depending if you want it to be sort of a quiet, very like one or two instruments, so it would be a quiet kind of a contemplative sound, or if you want to go with some kind of smooth jazz kind of sound.
Hmm.
I think, you know, so, but there's lots of good pieces you can find at that at the now I suddenly can't think YouTube. I couldn't think of the word YouTube. But yeah, YouTube's a creator studio. They have a lot of good stuff. So as I say, make sure that there is nothing that has copyright problems. And that's the one thing that they were very, very adamant about. And I have had students who wrote their own music. I've had at least 2 students who wrote their own music when they had entries. And one of them won the whole thing, and one of them got like second place. So anybody else have anything? It's been rough. I think everybody's been in kind of a rough state here. So let's see. I'll show you what I've got. Let's see. So I've got a bunch of people were saying they're interested in the lip syncing. I've got a bunch of lip syncing files that I could post if people wanted them, but they're not that exciting. But if you want to do anything with sort of the lip syncing, then again, that's another time when I would say Dermot O'Connor and George Mastery. So here's the Dermot O'Connor, lynda.com. This is what that link goes to. And he's really good. And he's got all kinds of different files, and he's worked on a lot of different projects. So he goes into a lot of things. Here, see, Animate. He worked a lot with Animate, which they are not going to be supporting Animate after this version. It's going to go away entirely. And I can't get it to load right now. I can't get it to open up at all. So I don't know what's going on there. But he has a lot of stuff about rigging a face in Flash. So when I was doing that, this was basically what I was following when I did the Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven poem. So very good guy, really interesting. And then George Mastery, and he's an animation director and producer. So he works with Maya a lot. So you can look at this if you're interested in using Maya. It's a very good program, which I don't use. Joel has used it a little bit, but I've seen a lot of really good animations come out of it. And he's got all kinds of really interesting and in-depth information about doing animation. So, and you know, so all of the stuff, I thought, you know, if you're interested in it, there you go. And you can go in there.
I
And
have a quick question.
yes.
Are they not gonna do the Adobe Animate anymore? Like,
I think
or
the
sub-
story
supported?
was that the Apple wasn't going to support it or something.
So like, is After Effects like something that's gonna I guess kind of like just be like a replacement for Animate?
Let's see.
'Cause I was wondering whether or not if I should invest like time to learn how to like work on Adobe like Animate or is it
I'm not even sure what they're planning to do. But they had a article about 2 weeks ago saying Flash Player sunset. So they're getting rid of Flash Player, and Flash Player and Animate work together. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about it, but they just have not been supporting it. And like I say, I can't get it to run. This version won't open. In fact, hey, I will share my screen and show you try to open it because this like drives me crazy. So I've got it loaded. It's down here. I click on the button. It starts to open.
So then, like, really, like, what's like the main differences between After Effects and Animate?
Okay, Animate is entirely vector based, and it's hidden behind everything here. So because it keeps giving me warning, and as you can see, I've been trying to open it. So I've got my.
So it's like something that'll work better with like with Adobe Illustrator.
Animate. Okay, Flash and so you can see every time I'm trying to open it, it gives me this. An error occurred. So, okay, so stop it. I've sent you 3 things already. Flash Player, Flash, Adobe Flash. Flash used to be, oh God, what was it originally? It was Macromedia Flash, and then it became Adobe Flash. Before that, it was something else. And it was always vector animation, and you could have shape tweening and motion tweening and all these things that you could just automatically tween a shape. It wouldn't just move something, it would actually take the shape and it would change this shape into this shape. So you could take a square and make it into a circle. And you could do that when you were animating figures. You could animate some of the shapes in the body, like the way that your foot changes position when you're walking. You could just have different keyframes that were the foot in different positions, and then it would smoothly tween between those positions. And for talking, you could put in just the extremes for the mouth position, and then it would just tween between those mouth positions. You could just have this box full of mouth positions and just pull them in and put them on the timeline, and it would tween between those positions so that you could get a really smooth and very effective tweened speaking mouth. And it was fantastic, but buggy. Flash has always been very buggy. So then they changed it into animate. And when they changed it into animate, they got rid of the bones. Because bones, the inverse kinematics with bones. And you were able to put something together so that it was parented in a chain. So that you could have the foot and the lower leg and the upper leg and the body all linked together. And then these bones you just put the bones inside of this shape. So you'd have a drawn shape that you drew, just here's a leg, and then you put the bones in it. And then you would tween the positions of the bones, and it would do all of the shape tweening and all of the movement that you needed to do with the bones. And that was great. And they got rid of it. So, it's just been this thing. And you probably haven't seen the, what is the name of this? Ceta Sings the Blues. Did anyone see the movie Ceta Sings the Blues? That was entirely made in Flash. And it's such a wonderful movie. And, the idea that someone could have done this and then they just decided they weren't going to use that stuff anymore, and they're just going to throw away all the bones and the inverse kinematics, and then they get to the point where it's just basically it's just the shell of what it used to be. So, but I had been teaching the animation with Flash as part of the animation class ever since the 90s, and then they broke it. I don't like Adobe sometimes. So that's what Flash is. It's basically, it was a program that did vector animation. So has anyone ever, used Flash or animate? Probably not. Back in the 90s, when it was something that everybody was using for a while, a little short time, Steve Jobs decided he didn't like it. And so he spent a lot of time making it difficult to use Flash with Adobe, with Apple products. So he always hated Flash. So I don't think that Apple's going to be supporting Flash, and that's what that whole thing with the Flash player. So there you go. And Animate's just gone to nothing now. There are so many different animation programs, and they grow in popularity, and then they sort of go away. And there's just completely, it's always back and forth. you just have to learn how to use as many of them as you can, and then just try to be able to jump in and start working with a different program. They usually try to make them similar to each other because people get used to the way something works, and that's the way they want it to work. So anybody have any other questions about the Christmas card? Anything else to share?
Professor Nucky.
So have you got it? You got yours ready to go?
No, it's not. It's taking forever to the update. But I have a question though.
Okay.
Let's say we enter for the holiday card context and all that. But I don't know. I don't feel like I'm prepared to send something like that. I mean, I don't feel that at that level to turn in something like that.
That's why it's required, because that way you'll enter it even if you don't feel like it.
Yeah, that's what just, I mean, asking like, well, maybe it's just I don't feel like ready to turn in my, because it's my first time using the program and it's not like I have a lot of experience, but okay, I will
But
turn it in.
think of this, Ismail, this is something, think about this. If you only do things when you feel like you're ready entirely for it, then you're going to waste a lot of time trying to get yourself ready. But if you enter things when you say to yourself, I'm going to do this, then you'll learn how to just have more courage. It's important to be able to just step in and do it, because you have a way. I know I do. Everybody does. You're more critical of your own stuff than other people are. And when you do something and you're thinking, I don't like it, it's not really what I thought it was going to be, it doesn't look like I thought it would, somebody else who doesn't live in your head is going to look at it and say to you, I really like that. That is so cool. And you know that's happened, right?
Yeah, a lot.
That happens all the time. So what you have to do is learn to, first of all, be courageous, be critical of yourself only to the point that it makes you try harder, but don't shortchange yourself, because there's value in what you're doing. And other people may see it even more than you do. So, give yourself a chance. And this is not like somebody isn't paying you to do this and saying you have to do this. Somebody is offering you money if you do it. So there's a difference there too. It's not like you have an obligation. This is something that you're doing because I've told you you have to do it, but I'm not the one who decides if you get paid or not. So
That's true.
So you're trying to win some money from somebody who doesn't even know who you are and won't even remember you. There's really no downside here. It's not like they're going to hold it against you. So, as long as you don't insult anybody, it'll be great.
Okay.
Okay. So does anybody have anything to show? Anything? Sketches?
No, but when you have a minute, I have a problem now. I did something that I don't know what I did.
Oh, no. Well, here, share the screen and we'll try to figure out what it is.
Okay. Can you see it?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So my words disappeared. They're still there, but they don't pop up anymore.
Ah. Okay. So,
See here, they're still here.
right. And there's your keyframes. Did you do anything to the opacity?
No, I checked that. It's still at 100%.
And what do you have in front of it?
In front of it, nothing.
You got the Happy Holidays from San Antonio College. So click the eyeball off on Happy Holidays from San Antonio College.
Nope.
Not there.
I mean, they're right there. I can see them.
Mhm. But they're not moving up. They're supposed to move up and they're not moving up.
Now, what I did was, and I bet you I deleted them, because what I did was when I cut this,
Mm-hmm.
I should have just made it opaque. I mean, done away with the whole opacity, shouldn't I have? Because I actually split it and deleted it.
Yeah.
Does that mean I ended up deleting the whole thing?
Well, here's something to do. Now, where did the text originally, where did it all come on? So zoom up to there, to where all the text comes on. So pull your CTI, your current time indicator on the timeline, drag it up to where the text would all appear. So where you would be able to see all of it written. Okay, now what I want you to do, what I want you to do, and make sure that your zoom level in the zoom level box is fit. Okay, now what I want you to do is come down to your animator where you've got your position, okay? And I want you to, oh, I know what you did. I want you to go to your second, okay, you deleted your second keyframe in the start.
So
And you've got a keyframe for start that is 0, and you don't have a keyframe for start that is 100%, but you have a keyframe for end that is 100%, but you don't have one for end that is 0. So go to the place where you have the keyframe for end. So, and the easy way to do that is, so come over there, okay, you got it. Now, at this point, I want you to change the start value to 100%. Now go back to the beginning and play it.
That's just sad.
Okay.
Okay.
What you did was you deleted half of the layer,
Uh-huh.
and in deleting half of the layer, you deleted your second keyframe. And as I said, you have to have 2 keyframes for anything to happen.
So I deleted the end and it's gone.
Right. You deleted the keyframe, so it didn't have a second keyframe. It only had a first keyframe, so it had to stay in the same place. It couldn't move. But when you put the second keyframe in, it could move.
Ah, okay.
So that's something with the text animators, because the way that text animators work is already kind of mysterious. I find a lot of people have problems with keyframes for text animators because it doesn't make a lot of sense the way that you look at it when you first start doing it. It doesn't seem to really click, and you don't get a feel for it for a while. And lots of times people just don't put in a second keyframe. So I looked for that.
Thank you. I thought I was going to have to start all over.
See, and when people say, this is probably something very easy, yeah, it probably is. But if you can't see it, I might see it. And there it is. So I don't mind telling people how to do things, even if it's very easy, because it's important.
Thank you.
So does anybody else have anything interesting that they need to ask me questions about? Because I'm here. I have a new message. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we're doing some good stuff in here. People are getting some interesting things done. And oh goodness, something tried to. Oh, I know what that was. Okay. I knew that was something. Okay. You know what that sound was? That thump thump noise? That was one of the hard drives falling off of the desk. Okay, fun. At least it wasn't the one that I use for things. It's the one that I use to save the videos on when I'm doing editing for training videos. So it's okay. It doesn't need to be plugged in right now. I'll just have to plug it in when I figure out where the plug is. I wish people had things to show. It's so
I do have another question about next week. So the bigger assignment that's due next Friday, will we have some time to run by questions with that with you? Next week?
Sure. Like I say, I'll want to show everybody's at the beginning of class. That'll be our critique. And then you have to have it turned in by 11:59. So and we can go over all kinds of stuff during the critique, and then after the critique, we'll, I have to introduce the new assignment, but I can hang around and help out with stuff if people need me to help stuff.
But it's due on Thursday, right? The 12th?
Probably.
So will we have time to ask questions on the 10th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I think that's what you said. I'll look.
I've spent the last 2 days not sleeping very much. Just
I feel you, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's all due on the 10th. You're right. Yes.
So yeah. So it's due at the end of the day. But I might extend it. I don't know.
So I do have a question then about the other one. Let me get it loaded and I'll ask, because I was working on it. This is the one with the cactus and the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really having trouble with any sort of semblance of lights. I mean, I've got the light effect, but the whole, let me show you. The whole, like what sort of graphic to use for the light. See how there's, got these little guys here.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of goes. And I was gonna have it in there and then the message would pop up here, like the other message from the other submission, but they just look weird.
It's like you've got a small UFO.
Yes, it is like a little.
So what exactly is that?
They're supposed to be lights that are on what I wanted was originally to have these lights on the cactus kind of go up to and light up the wreath.
Right.
But I'm abandoning that idea, I think.
So is this
suggestions?
So is this basically, this is just an image that you've got in one of your pre-comps here?
Yes.
Okay, and which one is it?
It is light bulb.
Okay, so let's go into light bulb. So unlock it and open it. Let's just double click on it so we can go into it and see what it looks like. So you've got just and that's an Illustrator, and it's just 3 dots in a row.
Yeah, that's the best I could come up with, because the whole light bulb things, they were upside down, they weren't curved. It was not good.
So have you considered having the light bulbs be just one of those dots and applying the change color effect to it.
Oh, no.
So, well, let's duplicate that layer. Just duplicate, or duplicate layer 1. Just go Command D, okay, and then turn off the eyeball for layer 1. And in layer 2, which is an illustrative fallacy, really can't do it. Tell you what, right click on it and create on the layer name. Right click on the layer name for layer 2 and create. So go down to create and down, 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 create. Up, 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 up.
Oh, there, sorry.
Create shapes from vector layer. Okay. Okay, now it's just shapes. Now let's zoom in so you can see it really close. Okay, so now go into the layer 2 outlines by clicking on the triangle on the layer name. Contents. And you've got 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
So just delete all but one of them. Hit delete, boom, they're gone. Okay, and now you've got, is this the same length as your regular comp?
The same length as my what?
It's the same amount of time as your regular comp. It's 10 seconds long, so your regular comp is 10 seconds long.
Yes.
Okay, so go to your effects. So effects and presets. And type change color. Okay, now you want to apply that effect. Your window is not all the way open. So you've got to get it to open out. There we go. There you go. Change color. Double click on that. Boom, boom. Okay, so you've got the change color on there. And you've got change to color. And what you want to do is you want to keyframe change the color to change. Okay, keyframe color to change. And then you want to take the eyedropper and click on the color of the light bulb. The eyedropper that's next to color to change. That one. Click on that and then click on the light bulb. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to move your CTI up just a little, just like 2 or 3 frames. And then you want to, let's see, keyframe. Oh, you don't do the color to change. That's right. Just turn off the color to change button. Turn off the timepiece for the color to change because it's the wrong one. Just turn it off. Here and up in the effect controls, just turn it off because so color to change. Come down to the timepiece for color to change and turn it off. Now go up to Hue Transform. Click on that one. Okay, now click on the triangle next to it. Is that the one we want? I think change color is not the one we want.
Yeah, because that changes colors.
It does. So you could use that one. Actually, yeah, go ahead and use that one. So just move your CTI back and forth. Just up and down, back and forth, like 2 or 3 frames. And keep changing the slider and making it completely different colors. I mean, really completely different. Make them riotously different, because then you're going to copy all of these frames, these keyframes, and you're going to paste them over and over. And then you want to go back towards the other end, far end of the slider to get reds. Okay, that's good. Okay, now you want to select the name of layer 2 outlines of that layer. Now press U. And there's all those keyframes. Now, what you want to do is you want to select the word Hue Transform, just select the words, just click on it and go to the, I'm trying to think of the word, the graph editor. Go to the graph editor, which is the one at the upper right there. Yes, click on that. And now you want to select all of those keyframes by using your cursor and marqueing them in. Just marquee them in. Okay. And now drag them really close together by grabbing one handle and pulling towards the others. Really close together. Okay, that's good. And now go back to the graph editor button so you can go back to the regular. They're all selected, so Command C. Just press Command.
The whole layer.
Yeah, just press Command C. Oh, now you've deselected them. You didn't want, you wanted to have all those layers. Yeah, all the keyframes selected. Now Command C, and that will copy them to your clipboard. Just Command C. Don't do anything else.
Oh,
Press,
got that.
press
Done.
Command on your keyboard and C on your keyboard.
Got it.
Okay, now your cursor, your CTI is nowhere near the other one, so you want to drag it a little bit closer, but after them, so that it's not touching them. Just a little bit further up there. And now Command V. And now move it again up and Command V
Ah.
and Command V. And now you want to go back and select Hue Transform the words again and Command C. Now you've got more to paste, so now you can pull ahead of the list and Command V. And then until you fill the whole area with, there you go. Okay. And now select all of those keyframes by clicking on Hue Transform again. Click on it. And now come to the first one, and while they're all selected, drag and make them drag all the way to the beginning. There you go. Now, go back out to your main comp. Don't do anything, just go back out to the main comp where you have everything happening. And now play it and see what it looks like.
Oh. Oops, sorry.
That was exciting.
Oh, wow. It's something.
Yes, and what you can do is now you can copy that layer. Just stop it really quick. Just stop right here. Just stop it. And now you've got that layer selected. Go back to the beginning. Press Command D. And now move the layer stripe just about 2 or 3. Yeah. And now Command D again. Do the same thing. And now play it.
Ah. That's wonderful. Okay. I'll just do that a few more times and we'll be good.
Yeah, you can make it into something really magical there.
Thank you.
So that I think will work very nicely. So remember, you can always combine different types of effects, and you can always duplicate layers and offset them to get something more interesting happening like that. So does anybody else have anything to show? We're having fun.
Yeah, I think I got something to show. I just barely just finished, I guess, coloring my characters.
Mhm.
Like everything's not finished yet. I'm gonna take advantage of today and just try to get as much as I can done.
Oh, sure. Tweaking is always important, just making it perfect. But let's see what you've got, because you can see sort of the general idea and get an idea of where you're going with it.
All right, are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm still I'm still gonna obviously need to have time to make like the background and everything. So
Right.
I just have this as an example. I do have like these other little pieces like in different layers, but one thing I did wanted to ask was like for the this is gonna be like the final piece. Like I'll look around the end. I just have like the dog licking the kid's face, and
Right.
yeah, like and the grandparents are just kind of happy about the whole situation. Um, like I know you're saying like I should have like the logo like somewhere to like we should have like the logo towards near the end, right?
Yeah, you can even
Where
have
would
it.
you recommend me having it at?
I think that most of the time, because the logos can interrupt whatever kind of storyline you've got, the best way, the best solution that I found is to have a fade out to a new frame.
Okay.
So, because if you've got, all these things happening, if you have this logo show up, it just interrupts. And either having it just fade out completely so there's nothing showing, or have the main pictures get smaller and then the logo show up in like the upper corner or something. But it's almost impossible to work it in to just a normal
Yeah.
scene. You know what I mean? Because it's not natural looking, and it doesn't necessarily look active.
So
And
just have it as a fade out, like something as like a like instead of having like the end I would like just have that as a like as something like to show at the last like bit of it, right?
yeah, well, and think of it as like if you see television commercials, they often will have something happening and then they have like an end frame that has just their logo and whatever information they need you to know. So it's separate, and that's how I think of it. It's like this end frame.
So like if I'm gonna do this as a card, because I think I'm probably just gonna have to like turn it in as a card. Like what other recommendation can you say I should do with like I guess with a logo, like
Well, and when you have a card, you can make the logo kind of small.
okay.
It doesn't have to be a big thing. And in fact, I don't know that you need to have more of the logo than just the words San Antonio College and just the small logo form of the Alamo. And so that would be one where instead of using the central one that's very uniform, they have the one that's got the little the box shape and then the words coming off to the side, and that one probably would work best because you could just put that at the bottom or something like that, or at the top.
Okay.
If you're gonna do a star on your tree, you could put it actually at the top on your tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you could have the star turn into the logo, you know, basically have it be the logo would be that, and then have the name of the college just to the side or something.
Yeah, I think the background I can probably like whip up something quick. Yeah, I just wanted to get like just the just mostly like the character line art out of the way, so I can just try to kind of work on some of more of the easier stuff
Right,
and just
right.
put everything together. All right.
No, certainly. And in the end, because like I say, we just don't have that much time. I think that getting anything in that has anything close to a theme that they wanted is wonderful. And if you can get in something that they really like and you can win some money, then that's marvelous. So anything you get in at all, just get it in. And they really want to look at things. They really want to see a lot of people enter and make an attempt. It really, it helps them and it helps you, and it's just a good thing all around. So anything you can get in, enter it. You can enter more than one. If you wanted to enter like a still frame, a still card, and also an animation, you could do that. Whatever you do, just, you know, enter the contest, let me know you entered it. And we'll hope somebody makes all that money because it was so nice. So anybody else ready to show something? So let's see, what else might we do? Oh, I can show you, because just because it's related to the Flash and the animate and all this, I will show you the, I've got to open this up first. The way this thing works, it drives me crazy. Okay. There we go. Okay. Ceta sings the blues. Now, if you look at this, because you want to know what people did with Flash, this is a wonderful example. It was a full-length film. It was in theaters. It was reviewed on television by Roger Ebert while he was still alive. And it was done by Nina Paley. She was even up for an Oscar, okay, for this. And she did it, and because she got into a dispute with the recording company that owned the rights to the songs that she was using, which were all done before the 1920s. And none of the people who had done them were still alive, but somebody owned the copyright and they weren't going to release it for her. She released it free into the public domain. And she has a whole bunch of stuff about copyright. She has, well, she's on a mission against copyright. Okay, so if you want to read about that, there's all these links there, and she's got all these things that she has written, and you can see there are lines stricken through some of it because it doesn't apply anymore, and she updates things. So she's very funny. But Ceta sings the blues. So let's see, is this where you go to watch the film? Please distribute, share, archive, and show Ceta sings the blues. Okay, let's see. I guess I click here. Do I click here? Nope, this is where you go to buy things. Where do you go to play it? Let's see. Show it. Here we go. Show it. Watch it. So watch or download Ceta Sings the Blues online for free. So I am going to start it playing and you'll see what it looks like. And this was done entirely using Flash. And it was all funded on the internet by people donating. So that's why it says in association with your money, because basically people donated so she could do this.
and love. My sweet man, I love him so, though he's mean as can be. He's the God on my knees, the kind of woman like me, a 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 woman like me.
So this is the song that they sing in Key Largo, but that's just an aside. So Nina Paley lives in Urbana, Illinois. And Henshaw was the singer that lived in the 20s that sang the song she used. So this is the modern day part. So I think I shall stop it now. And she blends all different types of styles. She's got 3 different styles. She's got this sort of very simple sort of symbolic style that you saw with the very vectorized dancing and the Rama style. Then there's a more that loose hand-drawn style. And then there's a part where she's doing like little cutouts, like basically like they did in the early Monty Python stuff with, you know, pieces of things that are moving around. And then there's another, it's more of a detail-oriented style. And she goes between these different things and uses each style for a different time period or a different thought process. And there's all these different things happening. Very interesting movie. I would encourage you to watch it. She did a recent one about 2-3 years ago that I felt really excited to see when she came out with it. But then she's gotten very bitter about a breakup in her family or something. Her boyfriend left her, and she was really very, very nasty about a lot of stuff. And so it was a little bit more pointedly anti-religion. So it was kind of uncomfortable to watch because you could tell she was mad. But she did some really interesting stuff. And I would encourage you to look at it if you're interested in going into animation and vector animation especially. She really does some really interesting stuff. And also if you're interested in looking at her anti-copyright stuff, she's got links on that page for that too. So she's on a mission against copyright. Basically not all copyright, but the idea that copyright should last longer than the original intention, which was like, you had like 20 years and then the copyright lapsed, but now it's, people have copyrights that they have paid for that they didn't have anything to do with the actual original artwork. So like Sony Pictures and Michael Jackson buying the Beatles music and all that stuff. So that was another interesting copyright thing. So copyright will turn out to be very important in your lives as you move on, since you are working in media and you're going to be working with people who are doing things with copyright. You will need to understand what you can and cannot do. So I think you should look into the copyright information. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to show? Any questions? Anything that they're having trouble with I could help you with?
I just finished my sound, but I don't. Sometimes sound is weird with Zoom, and sometimes it doesn't play it. But I can try to show you if you want.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
All right, I'll see if it works. Do you see it?
Yes.
Do you hear anything?
Not
Or is
yet.
it silent? No. Okay, it might not work then. I'm not sure why. Sometimes Zoom is weird with sound.
Yes, yes. Well, it's probably because it's playing inside of a program and, you know, I don't know,
Yeah, something.
something like that. But what is the type of music that you've got?
I've got like a jazzy instrumental version of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas,"
Okay, that's
and then when the sparkles come in, it's like a wind chime that plays.
okay. That'll be good. That'll be good. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good choice. I think that you'll do well with that. Does anyone else have something to show? I'm trying to think of what to do. I keep hoping that we can just, I wanted to go through things with people and help them with what they were having problems with. And that's really all I really plan to do today. So does anyone have anything that they need help with?
No, I was able to open my file, but I guess I didn't save it properly. And some of the things that I had before, some of them are still, part of the animation is still there, but some of them were not saved. I don't know if it has to do with the update or it was, I saved it during the update. I'm not sure.
Well, do you have all your files in the right folders? Did you accidentally save it into more than one place? So you have an earlier version and a second version?
Not that I remember. I've been working in the same file.
Because sometimes people will save their file and it'll end up going into a different folder or something.
Yeah, I didn't check. I have to make sure. I only have 2 files, but I will check both of them just to
Yeah.
see.
And sometimes if you just do a search by name, you'll find an extra copy somewhere you didn't know where it was. You could at least show us what you've got, even if it's not as much that you thought it was, but show us what you've got that is there.
It's, well, I'll show you. I sure. Because this one just got. Can you see it?
Yes.
Just I'm putting together. I mean, I'm kind of trying to make it work with the things that I had before, but
Right. Oh, it looks cute. You've got things started. You could probably use the Carol of the Bells instrumental if they've got it. I think they had a Carol of the Bells at the YouTube Creator Studio, and that would work really well with the moving Christmas balls. If you're talking, I can't hear you. So your sound's off. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the sound was off.
Oh, okay. I said, let me look for my other file and see if I can find it because I don't want to do it all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it together again.
So you've got holly days, like holly, like the plant, and days. Did you mean to do that?
Oh no, I was just typing in right now. I mean, I was trying to, like lay some text to see if it was something wrong with the layout, but it was not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning to be the happy holiday or Merry Christmas, but coming in. I had it before, like on the spiral thing, like you showed in one of the tutorials, and
Yeah.
with like sparkle, like kind of like little stores popping up.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I want to find the other because I don't want to do it again.
Well, I'll give you. There's a something you should do, which I think is important. I think you should save this one as go to File, and instead of saving it, go File, Increment, and Save. So go up to the File pull down and Increment and Save. So go down, Increment and Save.
Right here?
Yes. So now it'll have a number after the name. So if you find that you had done work in a different file, that you will at least not overwrite it with this file.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right. I'm still sharing.
But it does look, it's very nice. The colors are really good. And I think that will be nice once you get.
Do you really think the colors were good? I was actually thinking of changing the colors, but I was leaving that until the end
I
So
like the blue of the back of the sky.
I don't think it looks like
the-
for Christmas, does it?
It does it because Christmas basically you've got the dark sort of background with the silhouetted skyline, but then you've got these brightly colored balls that that's what you have at Christmas. You've got the darkness and the cold of the winter, but then you have the brightness and the cheerfulness of all of the decorations. So I think you did a good job with that.
Thanks. Okay, and I keep this color.
Lisa, your dog is coming in the room. Does anybody else have anything to show? Any questions about anything? Okay, so I guess that's about all we're gonna do. If that's all you have to show me, everybody go and work really hard and get that thing finished and turned in. And then next Tuesday, we'll have the actual turning in the assignment. Make sure you have something to show at the beginning so we can do a critique. You have to have it turned in by the end of the day. And we will start talking about 3D. So lots of stuff coming up. And if that's all we have to do.
I do have one more
Okay.
question. I don't mean to monopolize time, but if nobody has anything. So for my final project, I want to combine, like I want to use the wreath and the quote from the wreath over the cactus. So is it best to import one composition into the other or to start all over?
You can import the project into the other project, and then it will be a folder holding all of the comps, and you can pull the comp out and put it into the other project. So that's
you would just, that comes under files, and then you.
I'll show you. I'll do it. I'll actually do it. Okay. So let's see. Open. I'll go to desktop because I'll have to bop around. Okay, so here's Ceta Sings the Blues, and I will close that now. And here's that again. Now I'm going to come down to here's After Effects, and here's my file. And so if I want to use something from another project in this, first I have to make sure that I have it available to me. So I want to go out and get, let's say I want to take something from onomatopoeia into here. So all of these, of course, have the same names. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this folder into this folder. So now there it is down here. And now I'm going to say, I want to bring in, let's see, which one? This one, yeah, okay. So I'm going to import the project. So File, Import Adobe Premiere Pro, no, just import file. I thought it would say project, but it doesn't. And now I want to go to this folder, come down here. I'm going to come down here. And then I'm going to import this one. No, really? I'm going to type missing and find out what missing files they're talking about. Oh, it's the bunny.
So then I can just drag and drop. I can from the other project.
Right. But first I have to make sure I've got my bunny eating. Here we go. And then it should find all the rest of them, shouldn't it? And it's crunch copy to.
And when you
Is that
when
not
you
it? I'm
when you
having,
import it, you import it as a composition and retain file layers.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, cancel, what is wrong here? I guess I moved them out. I shouldn't have done this one, so I'm gonna throw this away. Okay, I'm gonna import another thing because that didn't work. It should have worked. I do not know why that did not work.
Did it not work because you dragged it just like that to somewhere else?
No, it's because I must have deleted some stuff at some point. And we'll see if this works. You know, if I planned ahead, I wouldn't be having these problems. Okay, so then we gotta go to desktop. Got to go to. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it didn't give me a warning about that. Okay, so now all I have to do is open up the folder and I can find anything I want to that I want to use in here and I can drag it in. So I can say, okay, I want to use the birthday party candle. So flame. Oh, let's just use.
But let's say if you have a shape layer, you have a shape, and then you have another, and then another layer you have the path, kind of like I do the light bulbs.
Yes. You
I
don't
have to-
need, you don't need the shape layer anymore once you have, once you've made the outline, you'll need
Oh,
the.
okay.
Okay, let's say I wanted to put this in, I would just drag it down and put it in. Move it where I needed it. This can fit. Okay, so I'm going to move it where I need it and move it up. And then party blocks. So there you go.
I get that.
So that's what you would do.
Okay, thank you.
You import it and it brings it in as a folder. And now I'm going to delete that because I don't want that in there. Okay, and now I'm going to save it again to make sure nothing else has happened. Yeah, I must have at some point taken some of the files out of that one folder to use for something else and just figured I'm done with this, so I'm not going to worry about it. And they're gone. I don't know where they are. So there you go. But it's very easy to do. If you have a folder, if you have a project that you want to import something from that project into the other project, you have to import the project itself. Make sure all the folders are in the same folder with the stuff that you're using so that it will be able to find it. But then you can take anything from it that you want to use. I wish it was easier though. I wish there was a way you could just like copy and paste from one project to another, but you can't have more than one project open at the same time. So
That's why I asked, because that's what I was gonna do, but I realized you can't have one project, more than one project open.
right, you have to import the project. So yeah, that's one of those things that I've always felt ever since I started using it, that they should have had a more elegant way of doing it. It's too clunky, but that's what you do. But for this reason, I can take, you know, any of the things that I wanted to use from one of my other Christmas things, and I could just import the project. And it just gets a little messy when you have all these project files with project files and everything inside, you know. But when you get something that you're ready to output, you can use there's a, I'm gonna go look at it again. When you're ready to get it output, and you want to say you're going to send this to somebody else who's working on it too, and they're going to output it, you would go to File, Dependencies, and then you remove unused footage, reduce project, collect files, and that would make a, let's see, if I say here I am, if I do it here, it's going to make a copy, I think. Okay, so I can do that. Okay, so collect files. And I think that's what you do. Collect files. And I'm going to put it on my desktop. And I'm going to put a underline ahead of it so I could find it at the top of my page. And I'm going to say save. And then here it is. And it just has what you used in it. Though it has everything in this. So
We're still looking at your After Effects.
yeah. So now I have to go and I think I have to. I don't know what I'm on here now. Something wrong with that. He's missing the bottom part of his arm. I don't know why. Okay. I'm back at this. So I'm really not sure what to do. I think what I want to do is I want to dependencies, remove unused footage, reduce project. I want to reduce the project. See, then it deletes everything that you haven't used in that thing, but
Oh, okay.
I'm going to undo it now because I don't want to do it to this one. So I want to save this one here and close it. So, and now I'm going to go to the one that I saved that was the copy. So open project. And I'm going to go up to the one here that I saved there. And this is where I'm going to say file, reduce project. Except I was not in the right folder. So I want to be in the folder. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's in here. That's what it is. It's in here. Okay, so here I am. This is what I want. And I'm going to say file and reduce project. And now there's nothing in this except the stuff that's in this comp. And then I would save that again. And you can also, I guess that's everything. Consolidate, remove unused footage. They've already done that. So now all it is this. And then you can just go ahead and make sure you got all the pieces that it needs in the folders that you got, and you're done.
Good.
So, are there any other questions?
Oh, you did mention gifts were like an option as well, right?
Yes.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about doing that. Do you happen to have any references or recommendations on how to do gifts?
Photoshop will do GIFs if you do the. Let me see. Okay, I'll open up Photoshop. Photoshop will do
Yeah, that was
GIFs.
something I was kind of interested in learning how to do too. Is gifts.
Well, the thing is, since we've already done GIFs,
Oh, already did technically?
well, we already did an animation using Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
Making a GIF from Photoshop would be, let's see, recent kind. Yeah, let's see. Open. Trying to find a project one stuff. Well, this is a gift that I made, yes. I'm trying to figure out where I put the Greyhound, because that would be the easiest thing to work with. So I can find the Greyhound. Lip sync. Here, I'll go back to this semester. 2, 1. I've got all these things for project 2. I'm trying to find the Greyhound. If I can just find the rotoscope. This is annoying. Okay. I'm trying to find rotoscope. This is just driving me crazy.
You could just download it from your pages.
Yeah, but things, I'm just looking for the PSD file.
Uh,
Open up the PSD file and it would be so easy. And where is it? I don't know. So I'm going to do a file, find, and let's see. Name ends with PSD plus. Kind is image. Oh boy. It's thinking about this. Oh man. This is really crazy. Okay, desktop, share. So I'm trying to find. There we go, roto. Here we go. This is it. This is it. Okay, so rotoscope. Here we go. So this is a rotoscope. And space, motion. Here we go. Here's my rotoscope, right? So if I wanted to output this, and I should probably put a background in or it's going to be hard to see. Stop playing. Stop playing. Okay, so going back to the beginning, going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to add a layer, which I'm going to put. Oh no, Command Z, can't do that. Okay, after you've got it in a video group, you can't really put in the background. Sadness. So what I would do is I would export, and I would export save for web legacy. So when you export save for web legacy, it's going to make a GIF file. It allows you to choose what kind of compression you use. And right now it's got selective diffusion, colors 256, and you can change that to try to make it smaller. And I'm going to have it say loop forever. Okay, it's going to loop forever. And now I'm going to make sure I know where is it going to go. save. And I'm going to save it. I'll save it right onto the desktop and save. And now I'm going to say file, save, Photoshop, quit. I'm going to go out to my desktop and let's go to here. That was Mackie V. Let's go by name. Okay, and that was photo GIF. Here it is. So here's the GIF. And it just runs continuously. So that's how you would make a GIF from a Photoshop file. Whatever type of animation you did in there, all you need to do is save it and export it for web legacy.
Oh, that's really it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So whatever animation you've done, it's just a different way of exporting. And
Okay.
remember to tell it if you want it to loop continuously or if you just want it to loop 1 or 2 times or something. So you get to choose that. So that's what you would do. So if you want to do a GIF, that would be perfectly reasonable and it would be easy to do. And if you make a GIF, make it the size they say, and they're going to put it on a website or something. So if you wanted to do a GIF file for the entry, you could do that. And you could animate it entirely in Photoshop. If all you have right now is a still PSD, you could say, well, I'll just do this and make it into a GIF and then have it just do some repeated move and it would be great.
Yeah, I'll probably do that instead of just like sending in the still image.
Yeah, and that would be very effective and fun, and you get to do all the settings you want to. How many frames per second, and do you want it to be compressed with a certain because it has a 256 color limit, and you've got few colors in the image that you've got. That you don't have a really you don't have a lot of shading or anything, so you would have an easy time getting that compressed.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then I'm going to say, go get some work done. Anyone who wants to talk to me,